What is a line if not an infinitely dense consequence of points? What is a plane as well, if not an infinitely dense consequence of lines? The same way we can define three-dimensional space as an infinitely dense consequence of planes. Continuing this idea, a four-dimensional space can be defined as an infinitely dense consequence of three-dimensional spaces, and so on. Let's call it idea number 9. Every n-dimensional space can be defined as an infinitely dense consequence of n-1 dimensional spaces. Then time, or flow of events in general, can be considered as moving from one space to another. For a line, it will be moving from point to point, means for one-dimensional space, time is transitioning between zero-dimensional spaces. For a plane, time will be transitioning between one-dimensional spaces. For three-dimensional space, time will be transitioning between two-dimensional spaces. And for four-dimensional space, transitioning between three-dimensional spaces, and so on. And here we can define the difference between space and world. A world is transitioning between spaces of equal dimension, which means the existence of a certain dimensional space in time. Like our four-dimensional world is the existence of three-dimensional space in time. The existence of a four-dimensional space would be a five-dimensional world, and so on. And as there are infinite amount of any dimensional spaces at every point, it leads to an infinite amount of branches of space transitions, of space existence, in other words, an infinite amount of worlds of equal dimensioning. Thus, any dimensional space is static, existing just in a timeless moment, but transitioning from one space to another, or as we consider it moving in time, creates the next level dimensional space, also static, and when it moves in time again, it is the next dimensional space, and that is an endless recursive process. This means we live in a four-dimensional world, simply transitioning from one three-dimensional space to another at each moment of time, and this very transitioning is time itself. This explains why time and space are so closely connected that they curve together.
Check out the full video linked in the description.